Adam Alter, why don't you explain the title? What exactly is Drunk Tank Pink?
Drunk Tank Pink is a bright pink color that psychologists used to use to paint the inside of jail cells. And they found that when they painted the jail cells bright pink, very aggressive prisoners emerged 15 minutes after being put in the tanks, calmed. So they were much more tranquilized, much easier to deal with.
And how are American corporations using this type of maneuver to control our actions and our thoughts and get us to buy their products?
A lot of them have a very sophisticated sense of color and what different colors do. There are theories that the colors yellow and red, for example, that McDonald's uses, encourage us to eat more. The color of red is supposed to make us spend more money. They influence us by changing what sorts of smells they pipe into a room. So if they pipe in a smell that reminds us of good food, we're more likely to buy. They play faster music, we purchase more quickly and more readily. And so I think a lot of them have a very good command over these different effects.
And aside from McDonald's, which companies do it the best?
I think Apple and Google have done a very good job of this. They structure all sorts of different aspects of their environments to capitalize on this effect. So one thing they do, for example, is a lot of them have nature, natural parts to their environments. We know that nature buffers people against stress. It has a restorative function. The other thing that they do is that at Google there's a rule that in a lot of their campuses that you can't have any part of that campus further than 150 feet from food. And it turns out that when people have eaten more, their ideas come better, they are a little bit clearer thinking, and they generally just perform much better in a whole lot of different respects. And so I think they have a pretty good sense of how these effects influence people.
And are more and more companies hiring psychologists and people like yourself to figure these things out? Because it seems like the whole idea of behavioral economics is really taking off now.
Yeah, it is taking off, and they are hiring plenty of us to do this sort of work. I think it's growing, and the interest is growing, and we are doing a lot of that sort of consulting.
But what about the downside? Is there a scary aspect? Because it's a little bit scary for me, or unnerving for me, to know that these companies are to a certain extent programming me and tell me how I'm going to choose.
It is. It's certainly unnerving, and I think one of the reasons I wrote Drunk Tank Pink was precisely to convey to people what these effects are, to share that information with them, because a lot of it is not well known. And once you recognize it's there, you can harness it for the better, for yourself, and you can also often combat these effects by discounting them or otherwise avoiding them.